Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about before we actually look at the functions is the concept of a constant function. And what a constant function does is it denotes to a programmer that if they call the function, it will not change any of the data members. Well, constructors change the data members. Get functions do not. They just return data members. And a set function changes the data member. So these functions here, all these get functions are considered constant functions. And we denote that by putting the reserved word const right here. Now, you don't have to do that, but you can. So I just wanted to show you that. If you are to implement these types of functions, not inline, but in the header file, I'm sorry, in the implementation file here, when you write the code, you would have to have the reserved word const after the heading of the function. Okay. All right, so that's just, we're talking about things that you can do to your classes. You can add this, compiler directive around it. You can make your functions constant when appropriate. And, const can be used a couple different ways. You can be used to declare constants in your program. Here it's denoting that these are constant member functions, meaning it doesn't change any of the data members. And we'll see also that it can be used for some constant reference parameter, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. So let's take a look at this code. Okay. And here, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Okay. In the main program, it is going to call we have an inventory item object declared called part. First, we're going to call store values with part, so we're going to pass part out to the store values function. Part will be passed into item. These variables do not have to be named the same thing. This is a reference parameter because we're going to store information inside of this item variable. It's going to be changed and we want to send that back to main. So here we have our, we just have some variables we're declaring locally. Okay. We ask them to enter the part number, the description, the quantity, and the price. So once they enter all that information, and note that I do need to use cn.get or cn.ignore after this input operator and before the get line. Then I'm going to call my set function, and this set function passes 4 parameters in. So I'm going to say item.set inventory item, and it's going to set the part number, the description, the quantity, and the price. This is a reference parameter, so it's going to go back to the main program, and then you can call show values, and you're going to pass it part. So store values will return the item into part. It's going to have information now in it, and now we're going to go to show values. And so it's going to pass that information from part into item, and it's going to go ahead and display all this information. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this to show you what it does. All right, my part number, my description, I have 5 on hand, $4.99, and it displays the information back out. So all this is demonstrating is that once we have this class in place, we can use this class. It's going to be a data type like any other data type. And then we can create objects or variables of that type. And then we can pass them to functions the same way as we did with other variables. And they can be value parameters, as they are here, or they can be reference parameters, as it is here. And same as before, value means you're passing it in to using it, reference means you're passing it in to change it, update it, and return it back out.